When Tamar Braxton pressed post on Instagram, she probably knew it would get attention, but no one expected the firestorm that followed. The caption was simple, yet shocking: "I woke up in a pool of blood." No explanation, no details, just an image of chaos. Within minutes, gossip blogs grabbed screenshots, hashtags spread like wildfire, and the internet did what it does best: fill in the blanks with its own version of the story. Some fans immediately assumed tragedy. Tamar had a history of health scares and personal struggles, so they rushed to send prayers and support. Others, however, weren't buying it. They saw the timing, just as Tamar had new projects and appearances lined up, and whispered the ugliest word in celebrity culture: stunt. But the twist that no one expected was the sudden shadow over Funky Dineva. Almost overnight, his name started circulating in whispers, comments, and sly accusations. Did he have something to do with this? No evidence, no proof. Yet the digital rumor mill didn't care. Screenshots, memes, and shady posts started linking him to Tamar's bloody morning. The silence from Tamar's side only poured gasoline on the fire. No statement, no clarification, just vague Instagram activity. And in that silence, speculation grew louder. What had really happened in that bedroom? Was Tamar a victim of something darker, or was the whole ordeal carefully crafted to put her back in the spotlight? The internet had questions. And Tamar wasn't answering. If Tamar's cryptic post was the spark, then the name Funky Dineva was the gasoline. Suddenly, timelines and group chats weren't just asking what happened to Tamar, they were asking, why is Funky Dineva being mentioned in the same breath? Now, Funky Dineva isn't a stranger to controversy. He's a sharp-tongued commentator, known for spilling celebrity tea with zero filter. But this wasn't about gossip or shade, this was about being accused, indirectly and without evidence, of violence. And in today's internet culture, perception often matters more than proof. Fans began dissecting Tamar's post like it was a crime scene. Was she hinting at something? Was the pool of blood connected to an altercation? And if so, why were certain blogs and insiders sliding Funky Dineva's name into the conversation? Almost instantly, the smear machine kicked in. Out-of-context clips, old feuds, and random Twitter theories turned into a narrative: Funky Dineva was the villain. People who had never even watched his videos suddenly had an opinion. The court of public opinion was in session, and the jury was millions of strangers with Wi-Fi. But here's the kicker: Funky Dineva himself didn't stay quiet. Instead of retreating, he clapped back, calling the rumors lies and demanding people stop dragging his name through Tamar's chaos. He wasn't just defending his reputation, he was fighting for his career. Because in this business, one viral accusation can erase years of work. And Tamar's silence? It only made things worse. In the middle of all this chaos, Tamar Braxton chose silence. And silence, in today's world, doesn't cool things down, it makes the fire spread faster. Fans who adore her begged for clarity. Haters demanded answers. And bloggers? Oh, they were feasting, spinning storylines faster than Netflix could approve a new drama series. Every hour that passed without Tamar addressing the situation gave rise to new conspiracy theories. Some claimed she was protecting someone close to her. Others suggested there was a legal angle, maybe lawyers were involved, gag orders in place. And then there were the wild theories that Tamar was setting up a big reveal for a reality show storyline. Meanwhile, Funky Dineva was left hanging in the storm. His denial was loud, his stance was clear, but when you're up against silence, denial often looks like deflection to the public. People wanted Tamar's voice, not just her Instagram captions. But Tamar knows the power of suspense. She's no stranger to the spotlight. Her fans, the Tamartians, have ridden through decades of music, TV, and very public feuds. So, was she holding back to control the narrative? Or was she genuinely recovering, trying to process a personal nightmare while the world demanded entertainment? The silence became deafening. And with every blog post, every viral TikTok, and every trending hashtag, Tamar's absence turned her into the central figure of a scandal that refused to slow down. Sometimes, saying nothing screams louder than words ever could. Once Tamar's silence stretched into days, the story escaped her control completely. Blogs, tabloids, and gossip channels latched onto every possible angle. Headlines were getting juicier by the minute. Tamar Braxton hospitalized after explosive altercation. Some even throwing in names like Yandy or Funky Dineva without hesitation, whether proven or not. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't about a single incident, it became a saga. YouTube commentators dissected shaky videos and alleged witness accounts. Instagram pages were recycling the same blurry photos with captions like "Pray for Tamar" or "Here's the real truth they don't want you to know." Even TikTok creators jumped on, turning the incident into a meme one second and a tragedy the next. And the scariest part? Nobody seemed to care about verifying the facts anymore. In the attention economy, speed beats truth every time. The more outrageous the claim, the more clicks it got. A supposed source would say one thing in the morning, and by evening, a different outlet would twist it into something 10 times wilder. Meanwhile, Tamar's brand, her music, her businesses, her public image, was taking hit after hit. Every new rumor chipped away at her credibility, no matter how ridiculous it sounded. And poor Funky Dineva? His name was plastered across search engines as if he had already been convicted in the court of public opinion. At this point, it wasn't just drama, it was a media circus, with Tamar and Dineva trapped inside the ring while the crowd demanded more chaos. After days of speculation, Tamar finally decided enough was enough. The rumors had spiraled so far out of control that staying quiet was no longer an option. Fans were demanding answers, the press was twisting the story beyond recognition, and her name was trending for all the wrong reasons. Tamar took to social media, her direct line to the public, to set the record straight. But she didn't just type out a simple statement. She crafted her response like a performance, mixing vulnerability with strength. She acknowledged being hurt, admitted there had been an incident, but stopped short of giving the media every bloody detail they craved. Instead, she framed it as a lesson about boundaries, about protecting her peace, and about the dangers of letting negativity take root in your circle. This was strategic. By owning her narrative, Tamar shifted the spotlight from what happened to what it meant. Suddenly, headlines weren't just about a fight. They were about her resilience, her survival, and her wisdom. Fans began rallying behind her, flooding her comments with love and encouragement. The conversation went from whispers of "Did she get beat up?" to declarations of "She's strong, she's inspiring, she's unshakable." Of course, not everyone bought it. Critics accused her of deflecting, of being vague on purpose. But in an industry where silence is interpreted as guilt and oversharing becomes a weapon, Tamar managed to find that razor-thin middle ground, saying just enough to reclaim power, without letting the circus feed on her pain any longer. When Tamar broke her silence, you'd think that might have been the end of it. But in the world of entertainment gossip, silence never lasts long, and Funky Dineva wasn't about to let Tamar's version of the story dominate unchecked. Almost immediately, he fired back with his own rebuttal, laced with the sharp wit and unapologetic attitude that made him infamous in the first place. On his platform, Dineva doubled down. He claimed that Tamar's statement was carefully worded damage control, designed to paint herself as the victim while leaving out key details. He accused her of playing the sympathy card, of manipulating the narrative to keep her fanbase on her side. She wants to be seen as strong, he said, but strength doesn't come from rewriting what happened, it comes from owning it. His words cut like glass, and his audience ate it up. The feud escalated into a back-and-forth spectacle. Tamar's supporters flooded Dineva's comments, dragging him for kicking someone while they're down, while his followers argued that he was just being real, holding celebrities accountable when no one else would. This wasn't just gossip anymore, it had become a proxy war between two fan communities. And that's the thing about modern-day scandals, They're not fought in boardrooms or behind closed doors, but in public comment sections, viral posts, and trending hashtags. Tamar vs. Dineva wasn't just a fight about words, it became a battle for credibility, influence, and control over the story itself. By this point, the drama had officially jumped from celebrity circles into the hands of the public. What started as Tamar vs. Funky Dineva quickly transformed into Tamar's Army vs. Team Dineva, and the battlefield was social media. On one side, Tamar's loyal supporters rallied to her defense. They pointed to her long history of industry struggles, her vulnerability, and the fact that she had just been hospitalized after a stressful altercation. For them, this wasn't about gossip, it was about protecting a Black woman who had been through enough. They flooded timelines with hashtags like #WeStandWithTamar and accused Funky Dineva of being insensitive, opportunistic, and cruel for dragging her when she was clearly in a fragile state. Meanwhile, Funky Dineva's fans weren't backing down either. They praised him for his realness, insisting that celebrities can't demand fame, fortune, and public adoration without also being held accountable when they slip up. In their eyes, Tamar was simply trying to spin the story to dodge responsibility, and Dineva was the only one bold enough to tell it like it is. What made things worse was how quickly neutral fans got dragged into the mess. Comment sections became war zones. Anyone defending Tamar was accused of being blinded by fandom. Anyone siding with Dineva was labeled a hater. Suddenly, it wasn't just about two personalities, it was about identity, loyalty, and which version of the truth people were willing to believe. And in today's digital culture, once fans pick sides, it rarely ends peacefully. At the end of the day, this feud wasn't just about Tamar or Funky Dineva, it was about how quickly social media can turn pain into entertainment. What do you think? Was this honest commentary or cruel timing? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more.